Who was here for last week's first part? We started to look at the FTMO website and how to navigate through that so that you can optimize all the tools that are there. But there are so many tools and so many sections in it that we were not able to finish up. So this week, we're going to finish that up so that you all can navigate that intelligently and use it in conjunction with your own trading plan. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the PowerPoint presentation. So this was this last slide that we covered. So last week, please go ahead and watch that video and you'll see everything up through the economic calendar. It's important to know when news is coming out because with FTMO, you cannot trade the news 2 minutes before a news event or 2 minutes after that news event. That will automatically disqualify you from your challenge or from your live FTMO account. They do not encourage or allow trading the news and plan on not trading that particular pair or whatever pair that they list as associated with that pair at that time, 2 minutes before the news or 2 minutes after. So these are the things that we're going to cover today. So the first section here is the account metrics. And the account metrics will have your account number. It'll have a graph of how well you are trading, whether you're trading a demo account or a live challenge account. It will show you what areas you are passing in. It's just a snapshot of how well you are doing. Part of your trading plan is identify your trading needs, identify your weak areas, identify where you need help in. And also, conversely, identify what areas you're strong in. Because it's not just good to just track what you're doing not so well. It's also good to track what you're doing well. Recognize what you're doing right, and whatever you're doing right, keep doing that. Keep doing that right. Increase it even. If something worked well, make a note in your trading journal. You should have a book, you should have a trading journal of your trades. And if there's a certain pair that you see, you know what? Every time that I trade AUD, JPY, I seem to win. I really have a good handle on that. Maybe you want to focus more on that pair. Then we go to your statistical apps. Why are statistics so important? Well, this whole section really wraps your head around the possibilities, or should I more say the probability of you winning your challenge. Some people say that trading is gambling, but there's a difference between gambling and trading. The difference is having a statistical edge. I can at least estimate what the probability of that trade is, winning or losing. That also involves my risk management, knowing how much I can lose on a trade, knowing how much I can win on a trade, knowing how much I am willing to risk. So knowing my statistics is going to be the difference between gambling and trading. This statistical app, you can keep it as shallow as you want. For instance, I can just track my win rate or my rate of how many winning trades I have had over the past day, over the past week, over the entire challenge. Look at my risk to reward ratio. How much is it that I have risked over and over again, and how much is it that I have won? Do I want to risk drawdown of, say, 50 pips when I'm only going to take profit one, which is only 12 pips? Is that really worth it for me? Or do I want to increase it where, okay, at least I want to hit, at least take profit too. Maybe that might be 20, 30, 40 pips compared with risking 50 and 40 or 50 and 12. I can look at what amount of stop loss is working well for me. I found out early on that trading US 30, US 100, German 30, you needed a much bigger stop loss because those trades were going up and down in such a wide range that I couldn't have a tight stop loss like 10 pips or 20 pips because it was too tight. I would get knocked out of the trade too easily. If I was keeping track of all that on this statistical app, that would have reflected and helped me to increase my stop loss. They have all kind of charts that show you the variables of your trade so that you can look at which one worked best for you, which one made more money for you, or conversely, which trade was it that like every time you had entered it or great majority of the times the trade did not work out well. In that case, you can avoid trading that particular pair. So FTMO has a disclaimer that says that all of the data, you shouldn't really use it to guide your trading. So I guess that I will echo that here. It's a very big section once you actually click on it. Then we get to the Mentor app, which I love. The first thing that you have to do is to download the files of the Mentor app onto your MT4 or MT5 platform, whichever one you are using. They have a video tutorial right there that you're able to click on. Once that's done, then you set up the parameters. The Mentor app is like having someone look over your shoulder and guide you and pat you on the shoulder and say, you don't want to do that. You already decided in your trading plan that you're not going to do that. So I'm not going to let you. I'm going to set off an alarm. I'm going to set off an alert if you even try to do that. After all the parameters are set, as you know, you can still bypass something whenever you set a parameter. So this is where you come in, where you have to have some level of accountability and trade with discipline. When you set the parameters, don't override them and say, I'm just going to ignore that this time because this trade looks so good. No, whatever your trading plan is, whatever the parameters that you have set, stick with it. Look at all the different areas that you are able to plug in values. For instance, you can set your own maximum loss per day. I know that they have a max loss amount there that was set for you by FTMO, but you can say, for instance, if it has 1,200 a day, you can plug in and say, you know what, I don't want to lose over 800. And when it gets to $800, your MT4 is going to alarm to let you know, hey, you have reached your max loss that you set in your trading plan. So you need to stop. You need to walk away. You can do that for the max loss in general, for the whole challenge. You can put a daily profit target. And I know that that is something that I need sometimes because I'll be winning. And it's like I'm at the tables. I'm like, oh my God, I'm on a hot streak. Let's keep going. And it'll go up 500, 700, 1,000, 1,200, 1,700. I remember I was up 1,700 one day. And within like the next couple minutes, it was down 1,000. And beforehand, I had said to myself that my profit target for that day was $1,000. When I got to that $1,000, it was getting so good to me. It was like the trade is just giving out money and I'm just going to take it. When if I had stopped at the 1,000 or even 1,500, 1.5 times the target, but I just had to keep going. I don't know if I'm the only one, but when I got to that 1,700, that's when the trade reversed. And I mean, it reversed hard, like it went down like 1,000, like a rock. And that's when regret and remorse, when those two twins come to visit. You're like, oh, why didn't I get out? Because the odds are the longer that you're in the trade is more of a possibility that the trade can turn around. Well, something like the Mentor app will help you with that. It'll pat you on the shoulder and say, I know. Come on, babe, walk away. Where the red pointer is, you'll see that they have a forbidden instrument on there where you can type in a particular pair that you don't want to trade. If you have a pair and there's one particular instrument that I promise you, every time I trade that instrument, it can be going wonderful. It's just giving out money. And the one trade that I put in, it hit stop loss. And that is gold. Gold does me so bad, guys. I'll be seeing all this money on the chat, and the one trade that I get into with gold, it just plummets the other direction. So a forbidden instrument for me would be put in XAU USD. Already know my history, so I'm just going to stay out of that. So these are some of the different parameters that you are able to plug into that Mentor app. And you can be alerted by either an alert email, or you can receive a notification, a meta quote. That's what it is, a meta quote notification. So pick and choose whatever is a problem area for you, plug that in. If you just leave a zero in the box, then it won't change anything. It won't alert you unless you put a number in there. Next, from the Mentor app, we have account analysis, which this account analysis tells you a little bit more than that first page. You have your balance curve, then you have your average profit and your average losses. And if you scroll down, it's very similar to your client area graph. Then you have symbols and updates. So symbols is just another way of saying pairs. So every single pair is not going to be all tradable at the same time. Sometimes you'll have particular countries have bank holidays, and that particular pair is not available to be traded during that holiday, or if it is traded, it's going to be moving super slow. FTMO also has a time when they will do an update on a pair. So they will tell you ahead of time, you will not be able to trade AUD JPY for so-and-so number of hours, so that you know ahead of time. That applies to cryptocurrencies as well. It applies to Forex pairs, cryptocurrencies, everything. Then you also receive updates. Why? Because there are new pairs being added all the time. There are brand new cryptocurrencies popping up, like they now have Cardano, they have Polkadot, they have Dogecoin, they have all kind of instruments or pairs that were not previously on the platform. You are also able to put in your specific pair that you are wanting to see information about. Like, for instance, German 30 just changed to German 40. So if I wanted to find out what's new with German 30, I would type in the German 30 or DAX 30, and it would bring me up all the latest information on that pair. And these are categorized under tabs because there's so many different ones. You have your Forex, your exotics, your metals like gold, silver, your cash like US 100, like I said, German 30, UK 100, your equities like stocks like Apple and Walmart, futures like the dollar index, cryptocurrencies, they're all listed and viewable right there. Then we've got your trading journal. To click through, you just click on next page. Then you have your equity simulator. It tells you if I have such and such amount, if I traded with a certain risk, how much should I end up with? You'll need to put in the percentage, the risk percentage that you are wanting to risk, and click run. Now, this is very important, the time zone converter. Like I said last week, FTMO doesn't run on our time. They run on CEST time, which is some Eastern European time frame. And I'm on Central time, and they're about 7 hours ahead of me. So think of it that with me, I have 7 hours less to complete my challenge. So say that my challenge ends on October 20th. It really doesn't end on October 20th for me. It's going to end on October the 19th. So be aware of that. It'll also show you on your economic calendar what the time for the news is in CEST time, but it'll also have a countdown timer for when that news event is supposed to take place. So I pay attention to both of them. Does anyone have any questions about what I covered? Does anyone have any questions about what we went over either this week or last week? Let me look if there's anything in the chat.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Concerning if you're what do you call it, the holidays? Well, no, not holiday, the calendar. If there's the red folder.
Yes.
And what happened if you're already in the trade?
If you're already in the trade, it's okay. It's just you can't enter a trade 2 minutes before or exit the trade 2 minutes after. So there are some people who trade news events, and they get in the trade so that whenever news happens and there's a spike, go up or down, they go ahead and make a money grab for that. And that's not what they are wanting you to do. They want you to be a steady, even-keeled trader and not just snatch and grab money. So as long as you are already in the trade, if you stay in the trade and don't close it out until at least 3 minutes after, you should be just fine.
Thank you.
Thanks for that question. Tracking the statistics is going to help you to pinpoint what you need to do more of or what you need to do less of. Now, I'm going to open up the floor for any questions. Does FTMO allow a trade manager tool? You know what? I don't know if it works with a trade manager tool because, as you can see, FTMO really does have its own trade manager software. So I don't know if they would want to work with another trade manager. Okay. So since we don't have any more questions on that, what I'm going to do next, FTMO Fridays is not all about hearing me talk the entire hour. This is really a support group for you guys, for the team. And over these last 4 sessions, I've really tried to cover a basic ground rules. This is something everyone should have a firm hold of. Everyone should be trading in this way. There's certain do's and don'ts. So we've covered all that. Now, as a team, we're going to get more into trading specifics, because it's wonderful if you are hearing that I pass FTMO a certain number of times, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. That's wonderful. And I'm glad that you cheer with me. But this is all about making sure that you guys are successful, making sure that you have workable trading plans. So what we'll be doing moving forward is to focus on people who have either passed their demo or their challenges or become funded traders like that week. They are happening so frequently now that I think we kind of take it for granted how special this is. There are people who try to become FTMO funded and they can never do it because they're like struggling on their own, trying to find the right answers and right strategies and right way, when we have all that. All that we need to do now as a group is to come up with plans that work for you. And how we can do that is look at different plans that work for different people. You can take this from that person's plan. You can take that from my plan, and you can make it work so that not only are you able to pass the demo and pass the challenge, that's only the beginning. We don't want you to just pass the challenge and then you just flunk out. You can't pass your verification. You become a funded trader and you can't keep the account. That's not the point. The point is for you to get the FTMO account, become a funded trader, and keep that money coming in like every 2-week income. FTMO is paying out every 2 weeks now. Instead of you having to work 40 hours a week, you just put in a couple trades, perhaps even one trade, and letting that trade ride all week long. There's so many people passing in our group, whether it's passing the challenges or the demo. I celebrate each and every one of them with you. And there's something that we can also learn from each of those people. Chelsea Atkins passed her demo this week. I asked her if she could appear on the program. She was going out of town. She was enjoying life, but she said, you know what? I don't want to miss this. I want to encourage people. I want to share what it is that I did to win, because I want the whole team to win. You are getting ready to get some real jewels. And I'm going to go ahead and play that recording for you. And I'm just going to do that with screen share.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chelsea Atkins. I am a mid-30s mom, wife. I truly appreciate the opportunity to be featured on Miss Brenda's FTMO platform this evening. It was an honor when I received her invitation, and I'm so sorry that I can't be here with you live this evening. My baby girl is cheering at a high school football game tonight, and at 5 years old, that is a huge accomplishment for her, and so I will be in the stands cheering her on and probably crying like a baby because she's my youngest and my last one that I get to do things like this with. Graduated from college, found myself in banking. I was a loan officer, I was an investment banker, I was a teller, all management, my greatest glory and accomplishment in my banking career is I met my husband. We now will be celebrating our 7th wedding anniversary on the 11th. I guess I just came here to say, these people, they're why I'm here. They're my reason. They're my passion. They're my why. I started trading because my job, my career, pushed me to a place where I could not be the best version of myself for those people. I don't want my husband to pay my bills. And it's fine if you do, but I did not. I wanted to be able to have my own money. And so I worked, and then work was destroying me. I was having panic attacks. I was breaking out in hives. It was a mess. And so Lorenzo and I had a very real conversation, and he said, babe, you can trade, but you think it's a scam. But let me tell you all of the things that trading has done for our family. And he said, trading has put a down payment on our house. Trading has paid off a majority of our credit card bills so that we can finance our house and so that we can finance a car, because honey, you went to college and you have a significant amount of student loan debt, and so we have to even that out. And so trading has helped us do those things. I said, you're right. I can't keep doing what I'm doing. And I left my job. And he had built us up a savings from his trading. He hadn't told me that he had built up a savings because it was supposed to be our safety net. Then he said, leave your job and we'll figure it out. And I want you to start learning. I want you to start trading. I want you to do this because you can do this. I started trading October of 2019. I thought I was invincible. I had no idea about risk management. So I kept blowing accounts, and I realized that it wasn't about the trades I was taking. It was about the mindset that I had. I had to remove the emotion from the losses. You can still take losses and be profitable. But I would take a loss and then I'd jump right back in the trade because I would revenge trade. I would jump right back in the trade and I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna win my money back. I'm gonna buy instead of sell. And then it would start selling. I'm gonna keep selling. Then it would hit an area of support or resistance and it would buy up. COVID happened. I lost my dad. My husband is now in the process of being put on the transplant list. He can no longer work anymore because he is so sick. I was hospitalized, ended up septic, almost lost my life. Throughout all of this, all of my kids are being homeschooled. I did not want to take the time to back test and mark up my charts. I was too sad. I was too overwhelmed. I was too tired. I needed a break. Whatever excuse I wanted to make, but the biggest enemy that was staring me in the face was me. I was recklessly losing money because I was not paying attention to risk management. And I just said, man, I just really suck at this, but I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna make it work. I'm not going to be reckless. I charted the pairs. I utilized the indicator that has been provided to us as an additional confirmation. If I am taking a signal and I am not going to be awake or present or be able to monitor my trade, I take profit one. I've been trading for over 2 years, but I'm on a take profit one diet. Why? Because the results that you get from Shift and Tighten are based on it hitting take profit one. So if Titan says if it has won 88% of its trades, that means 88% have hit take profit 1. Many of the signals that are called in those apps are counter trend trades. That means that they're not trending. That means that at any time they could continue their trend. And if I can't monitor it, or if it doesn't agree with my markup, I'm taking take profit 1. I'm going to secure the bag and I'm going to get out and I'm going to move on with my day. And while I'm doing that, I am never going to risk more than 1% of my account. I'm not in my live challenge yet. I'm starting on Monday. But I have not failed an FTMO demo. I passed my FTMO demo last week in 5 days. And these are the things that I did. I charted the pairs. I utilized the indicator that has been provided to us as an additional confirmation. If I am taking a signal and I am not going to be awake or present or be able to monitor my trade, I take profit 1. I am on a take profit 1 diet. Why? Because the results that you get from Shift and Titan are based on it hitting take profit 1. So if Titan says if it has won 88% of its trades, that means 88% have hit take profit 1. Many of the signals that are called in those apps are counter trend trades. That means that they're not trending. That means that at any time they could continue their trend. And if I can't monitor it, or if it doesn't agree with my markup, I'm taking take profit 1. I'm going to secure the bag and I'm going to get out and I'm going to move on with my day. And while I'm doing that, I am never going to risk more than 1% of my account. If you have not and you do not understand 1%, next week, the team Discord is going to open up. It's going to have all of the risk management trainings. Watch them. The money coach knows what he's talking about. Coach Chris, who is the money coach, knows what he's talking about. If I have a $100 account and I take a 5% trade, how many trades can I lose before I lose my account? 20. If I have a $100 account and I risk 1%, how many trades can I lose before I blow my account? 100. What seems like a more valuable option? You don't have to chase those indice trades if you're not ready for it. Last week, my demo account, I passed it by trading GBP, JPY, GJ. I hit my target by stacking and taking partials on that trade all week. If you're trading on a broker who allows you to have more than 1 to 100 leverage, and then you get to your FTMO account and you don't understand why they're not moving as volatilely, that's why. FTMO has 1 to 100 leverage. Change your leverage on your broker so that you understand realistically what you're prepared for. FTMO pays in points. It does not pay in pips. So when we say that US 30 moved 360 points, and then we say, well, it was 3,600 pips, guess what? You're going to get paid based on that 360 points. Figure out how your broker pays. How do you do that? Take a micro lot, 0.01. If it hits take profit, it's going to tell you how it pays. If it's paying you 10 cents a pip, if it's paying you $1 a pip, if it's paying you $10 a pip, whatever. If it hits take profit or stop loss, it's going to tell you how it pays. Take the signals from VIP, take the signals from Shift. The people that I take signals from on shift, DMC, Daniel Ching, Gus, Jeff. I take the VIP signals. I take Gigi's signals. Take the signal. Stop being scared. If you don't know how to confirm them, start charting. Go to the academy, take the lessons, plug in. Make sure you're on the sessions. If you can't be on the live sessions, make sure you're watching the recording. You guys can do this. I believe in you. Miss Brenda believes in you. Gigi believes in you. You guys can do this. If I can overcome everything that I've overcome in the last year and a half, you can do it too. You can do it. But I believe in each and every single one of you. And I look forward to seeing you all succeed.
And that's what we're all about, guys. We're here to learn from each other. That's why I say that this is a support group. Oh, great. I've got some summary here. Follow the rules, risk management, use Titan, VIP, set daily goals, get paid, start again. I love it. I love it. That's our conclusion for tonight. Thank you, guys. I will see you next week with another testimonial and more clues, tips, puzzle pieces for your success. Good night.